All right. So like I was talking about before, the installation of skill sets quickly is a lot of what it is that we're going to be focusing on, especially as instructors, especially as trying to help these guys that are coming to the UTC that really want to overcome the challenges of their mindset to continue to get the success that they want in their lives as men, as leaders, as husbands, fathers, entrepreneurs, investors, things like that. All right. So we got to keep in mind as instructors that our teaching must be purely functional. There's nothing that we want to share and or show and or teach these guys that they can't utilize in their lives as they leave here. Whether it's business, whether it's strength training, whether it's mental capacity, anything that will help them be better, it needs to be functional or we don't teach it, period. If it's something, which is why it's so important for us as instructors to train together or to have a training regimen like this one, be it virtual, be it on video, be it on phone call, be it on Google Hangouts, to where we create a crucible of training, which is really a melting pot of ideas that we can fire test or bring under fire together as instructors prior to introducing this functional information out into the minds of the men who are coming here that rely on us to make them better. That's why this instructional, this enhancement instructional training exists, all right? So ask yourself all the time, how is this going to be useful? How can we use this to make us better as an instructor organization, as well as how can we use this to make our trainees and the guys who come here and our clients and our coaching people come here to make them better and so they can go out and accelerate in their lives? How can they use this? And if it's something that's not functional, we strike it. If it's something that we utilize and we don't feel like it flows correctly, we don't do it. We are only about doing what's highest and best for our guys, all right? So the other side to that, motivation. Motivation. Their motivation is key to us. We don't want to have to motivate somebody to do well, just like our motivation is key. So using from an instructor enhancement standpoint, what is my motivation? My motivation came from my own challenges in these areas. My love for mindset, for accelerating, for being better as a man, being better as a father, being better as a husband, knowing that I'm a leader, that I'm the butcher, baker, and candlestick maker of everything that needs to go on in my business, in this gym, this coaching facility, in my house, as well as for me, who keeps me up. I am motivated in those areas to want to continue to press myself to be the best Victor. I want to be strong. I want to not be broke. I want to have a great company, and I want to install and contribute to the world for men who need me. That motivates me. And I'm motivated by strength training. I'm going to strength train anyways. I like lifting stones, logs, sandbags, kegs, running the prowler, getting all sweaty, training with the people that I enjoy training with. I am motivated to do that. I'm also motivated because this is something that I want to get paid to do because I love this thing. I can do this for the next 20 years. I don't have a short game plan. I have a long game plan to continue on to make Warhorse Strength Camp, the Champion Army, the UTC, which is Unstoppable Training Camp, a top-of-mind training camp for men playing at the top of their game that want to go to the next level. There is no other personal development training camp that I feel like is better for men in our capacity. That motivates me from that level, and it motivates me from a financial capacity to know that I want to make a living doing what I do, what I want to do. Hopefully that motivates you to want to be a part of something like that too. So I want you to find your own motivation for being an instructor in this as well as some of the other things and helping other men as well. Now, what are the guys that are going to come to the UTC? What are the guys that come to Warhorse Strength Camp? What are the guys that are going to come into any of our Champion Army programs? And you as instructors, the typical motivation from what I found is a couple of different areas. We have a guy who is or has had some challenges in the past. Personal problems, health problems, relationship problems. Maybe he's been under fire from a financial situation. Maybe he's been sued before. Maybe he's faced bankruptcy like I have in the past. And I've been sued before. You ever had to sue somebody? Maybe my money has dried up. Maybe that's caused problems for me. That's motivated me. Maybe my problems in my relationship with my wife and I, maybe my divorce in the past and fear of failure there, maybe my past upbringing with my parents splitting up early makes me take a look at my life now and say, hey, I'm motivated to make this shit work with my family. Maybe me, or maybe them, and I got off on a tangent about myself, but it's more just because I understand them. their motivation could be that. Their motivation could be wanting to be a good dad, wanting to be a good husband, wanting to be a better leader, wanting to be a stronger man, having health problems in their body. Something has caused them or challenged them to take this step up and be better. But worst case scenario, they've hit a holy shit moment and they're like, yo, I have to fix this. A lot of guys come here for that reason. And there's the other motivation of just guys who just want to be better, guys who want to press themselves, push themselves, take their game to the next level. Mentally, they recognize that it's not their business, and they know that to push themselves physically, mentally, causes them to have higher success in their lives externally. And these guys are entrepreneurs, they're investors, and they want to push and grow. They are motivated. That is their motivation for being here. So no matter what the motivation is, we understand that the willingness to want to learn is the highest level of motivation. That's our resource for being a more effective instructor at the UTC or for Warhorse Strength Camp. You get it? So that's key for us. And as we take a look at giving people the live experiences as one of the lessons to be an instructor, it is important for us to know and keep in line with the fluidity of the type of people that we have. Some of the guys that we are going to be training are not going to be athletes. They're not going to be physically active the whole time. They're not going to be able to do everything that, say, someone that genetically inclined can do, or somebody who's still physically active can do. So we as instructors have to be able to recognize those things. Like I said, verbal communications, somebody saying that they're tired and know that they're actually tired versus know that they actually just can't keep going, and we need to be able to adjust on the fly and be fluid in our instructions. All right. Also understanding that the human brain can't occupy space for that long. So about 15 minutes or so, we need to be getting up, changing people's state. Like I said, how do we access people's state or manage people's state? We may be talking in a lecture capacity here in the gym, here on the mat, maybe talking about what's going on. And then at some point after about 15 minutes, we need to get people moving up, changing their physiology. Physiology is their body mechanics, how they move, what they do, and then also change their psychology, because they're now taking in information. We need to change their psychology and get them moving around and getting a new feeling and changing their emotional state of mind and begin to manage those things, especially when we're running groups like that. All right. Those are our things. So like I said, our motivation is to be able to motivate and strengthen men around the world, mentally, physically, so they go out and get the results that they want. Our motivation is the financial thing, whereas we want to get paid for doing what we love by helping people, supporting them, because we understand where they come from. Their motivation, maybe they had a rough patch in their life, going through a rough patch, and need their mental capacity back, need that mental edge, that killer instinct back because they've gotten comfortable. Or maybe they're just interested in the information. Maybe they heard about it, they saw about it, they really liked it, they thought that it was a great concept, they saw Warhorse Strength Camp and wanted to come and try their hand at what we do, and they fit the bill for where we are because we have a vetting process to weed people in and out. Next, they may have been recommended by a friend. Somebody might say, hey, you know what, this is a good referral, I think this is a good guy. And his motivation may not be as much. We may have to talk to him, find out what his real motivation is, a little digging, but that's our job as an instructor to find those things out. They are a little bit less motivated because they didn't find us on their own. And last but not least, we have people who've been directed here from their jobs, corporate, somebody who has been referred from a corporate entity to come to the UTC to train as a group. But we need to make sure that we are pushing that group to become a team player individually, but to help grow the team from a leadership capacity, because their motivation for being here has been ordered. We call it forced fun. Like, who gives a shit about forced fun, right? But that's evident out there in the marketplace. So our best guys that are going to come here have been motivated by going through a rough patch in life and they want to get that edge back, or these guys are motivated because they just want to be motivated. They want to be a part of a hardcore group of investors, entrepreneurs that are out there really pushing the pace in life, and they believe in what it is that we're doing, and they want to be a part of our 100 Strong organization. They want to be a part of Warhorse Strength. They want to be a part of the Champion Army. They want to go run around and wear the shirts. They want to be a part of everything that we're doing. Those guys are also motivated. Those guys are easiest for us as instructors, and they align with our motivation and their motivation. So together, we get higher success. All right. So, next, I went over, or wanted to go over again, the elements of effective communication using NLP, because a lot of our training regimens involve the crossover or modeled after trainings, physical trainings, infused in with a communication that allows people to install a skill set of cutting down their mind chatter, controlling their emotional state, managing their emotional state, so they go out and take the actions necessary and they control that and they grow as a person. So basically communication, or the definition of communication, is basically I speak, you listen, I speak, you listen, and you understand. Being effective, all right? So when we understand that, using NLP or using neuro-based learning processes to install skill sets quickly as instructors, and I kind of wanted to go over this, is that 55% of your communication is body language. As you guys can tell, a lot of times I walk around, or I'll talk, or I'll point, or I'll say, hey guys, look, here's how we do this. Or I'll say, hey, you know, a lot of times we have this thing going on. Or if you haven't noticed, I'll go, hey, look, Champion Army, War Horse, Panic, Pressure, Pain, the War College. These are all things where I'll say 100 strong. This is body language communication. So as I'm communicating with you, I'm getting you to kind of see different things, because people communicate differently. So 55% of your communication is going to come through body language and body mechanics. 38% of your communication is going to come from verbal cues or verbal acuity. The speed that you say something, your pauses, to where you can understand things. Some people speak different languages, or they have accents, or they're from different places. Or sometimes you may have an interpreter, depending on who it is you're talking to, or where you are, or where you are giving speeches or instructing. At those times when you're giving instruction, with your verbal cues, you will have to speak, say different things. Or if I'm talking to a group of professionals, I may have to kind of tone it down from some cussing. I may say some stuff, but my verbal cues may be a little bit different in how it is that I say stuff, along with my body language, how I say things, where I look. Sometimes I may look away while I'm talking and look back at the audience to get them to kind of look away and look. Those are the things that I talked about changing somebody's physiology every 15 minutes. There's little things that you can do to make you more effective as an instructor. Last but not least, we have 7%, which are words. You only communicate about 7% of the time with the words that you know, so you understand that. So let's say, prime example, and this is how I kind of understood it, was let's say I send you a text message saying, hey, could you cook dinner to Sharon? She may respond, yes, I'll cook dinner tonight. And I'll read it, yes, she'll cook dinner tonight. So I'm thinking everything is all good. But then she may have wrote it, yes, I'll cook dinner. Doesn't mean that she wants to cook dinner. That means she's pissed off about it. But she said, because I read words, there was no emotional trigger, there was no communication, there was no verbal acuity to what was going on. So when you take a look at that and you understand that 7% of your communication effectively is done through words, then we can